Life.
All right. Good
Yep.
morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Wherever
Well,
you are at.
wherever you're at, welcome to another episode, episode 5 of Cleats and
Yep.
Beats.
Yep.
Talk about some soccer, talk about some music. Get
And there's
down
a
to
lot. There's a lot we gotta
there's a lot
recover.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna start out
Uh,
with the Champions League.
Actually, let's start off with milestone.
Yeah, you go ahead.
We have 20 subscribers, so we want to thank all our 20 subscribers. I know it's the beginning, so we still catching on, catching on. We celebrating the small wins,
That's
right?
right.
20. The next thing we know, we're gonna hit 50, and then you keep going. You keep going and on and on.
Yeah, I
So
appreciate
yep,
everyone subscribing,
yeah,
listening, watching. It's a pleasure. We enjoy
yeah,
it, so it's fun.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So let's hop right in, man. Let's
Let's
hop
get
right
in.
in.
Yeah, so last week, big week,
Yep.
Champions League. We had some great matchups.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
we can start with the Real Madrid Arsenal match, I mean, we thought would be a good matchup, but ultimately it was pretty one sided after the first leg. Arsenal
Yeah,
dominated the first leg. Arsenal continued to dominate the second leg.
yeah.
They won 2-1, but they pretty much had a good control of the game
Most of the time, yeah.
most of the throughout the game. They scored first, and then they scored one late. But like we were talking about last week, if they came out and played aggressive, they'll have a better chance of winning versus sitting back,
Absolutely.
letting Real Madrid kind of attack them the whole game. So I feel like they took that approach. They played smart.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one mistake in the back, but overall they played a good game. It was
They
just a
did.
lot. It's a lot for Real Madrid to make up 3 goals in a
Really? You think
game.
so though? But it's Madrid.
This season, yes, I think so.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
last season, no,
yeah.
but this season, they've taken a step back. Even though they
Mhm.
have more talent on the field, I feel like as a team,
Absolutely. Yeah,
scoring, just the way they play together, the way they've been playing together, I feel like they've taken a step back. So
yeah.
I don't know. Even if you go back to PSG when they had Messi,
Hmm.
Neymar, Mbappe, it's still like the attacking wasn't as lethal as you would think it would be
Hmm.
based on what you saw on paper. So
Like
you
we
know,
always say, stars don't really make up a team.
hmm
It's just about how each individual play as a team. And I think Arsenal just exposed a lot of Madrid weakness which they were having in the beginning of the Champions League. There's a
hmm
lot of these games that they were just getting by. People did not notice that. But a
hmm
lot of Madrid game they just getting by and it's scraping through. And when it came to Arsenal, they just exploited like a lot of their weaknesses. One of them being their fullbacks. They
yeah,
pull
they've had some
Sa-
struggles
Saka
this
on the
season.
wings. Yeah, Saka on the wings was just killing them there. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So it's yeah. The scores really shocked me. I did not see Arsenal going gun blazing like that. Honestly.
No, they should. They're playing good. They've been playing good all season. They
Yeah.
have good depth in the squad.
Hmm.
Saka's back, and they're playing with confidence. They played
Hmm.
well in Premier League last season. They're playing well again this season. So they shouldn't be afraid of Madrid.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
they have enough talent to
What
play
do
with them.
What did you think Madrid lacked the most during the whole game when you're watching it?
I like the biggest thing was the cohesiveness of the
Hmm.
whole team.
Yeah.
I felt like there's a lot of great individual talent all across
Hmm.
the field.
Of course. Yeah.
But when a team plays, when the team is connected and they play really well together, it's more fluid. The ball is moving. Everyone's hustling. Everyone's kind of running back on
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
There's less finger pointing, less looking confused. It's more of one cohesive unit.
Yeah.
And I think with Mbappe, it hasn't looked like it. It hasn't looked. I don't know if he doesn't like playing in the middle. I don't think he likes playing in the middle. He likes playing down the
I
left
don't think so.
side.
Yeah, he does.
So
But then guess who's there? Vinny's there. So
yeah. So it's. I mean, he's in a position that he's not familiar with.
yeah.
So it's like you can see that if you're attacking with all the players in their strongest positions, it'll
Hmm.
work better because everyone's working together. But if
Yeah.
you have like if out now striker up there by himself, kind of not knowing where to go, not knowing to position himself against
Hmm.
the wingers or against Jude coming up the middle,
Hmm.
they look a little disjointed in the final
Yeah.
third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And th- they didn't really provide much from the big stars at all, like how you're saying. I would have think Vinny and Jude and those kind of guys would really step up Mbappe. But there was lack of athleticism. Like a lot of the time, I caught Madrid ball watching a lot,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
When they lose the ball, you see a lot of like you just see a lot of gaps in the middle, and
Mhm.
that kind of reminded me of I was thinking, man, Tony Cruz is not there to do that dirty job, right?
Mhm.
Modric is a little bit on the edge side, so he can't be going in and doing those dirty work and tackling,
Mhm. Mhm.
winning those ball back and pushing it forward for your
Mhm.
Mbappe's and Vini to go on the counter attack, right? And I didn't see much leadership on the team either, right? So all those little things you pull in, and I think that was really killing Madrid a lot.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah,
Carvajal was a big kind of a big loss in the back because
yeah,
he
yeah.
was a fighter. He played with a lot of emotion.
Hmm.
You know, he didn't make very many mistakes. So
Hmm.
the back line with Alaba hasn't been the same since the injury.
Yeah, yeah,
I know he had a long injury, so
yeah.
he's it's just the back line is kind of changed a little bit throughout the season, and they're making mistakes. They're just not as connected as they should be.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
Ancelotti tried, he tried the best. He tried bringing in subs early in the
Yeah,
second half to liven it up, but still, I don't
it
think.
just it didn't do it. Yeah, it didn't do much. Like I said, they really lack high like quality performer. Like, and
Hmm.
you can just show it shows in the beginning of the tournament, and they were just scraping through, and I think they didn't really have the Madrid magic against
Hmm.
Arsenal to really pull through. Um, but I was watching it. I had a question for you. Do you think the arrival of Mbappe has made them worse than they were last year?
100%.
Yeah. I was
Because
arguing with somebody. I was like, really? Go
I
ahead.
think I think they're I watched them a lot last year, and I watched them
Yeah.
this year. And last year, they were very dominant in La Liga.
Hmm.
They played really well throughout the Champions League. They
Hmm.
were a more lethal team. This year, they're not as lethal, and
Which is
it could
crazy.
be. I mean, it may not just be all to one player. It could be things around, kind of things throughout the team. But
Hmm.
it just you would think that they would have kind of continue their domination as what they did last year, but it hasn't been the same. They haven't looked as lethal. They haven't looked as hungry. They
Hmm.
haven't looked as cohesive. And the one thing, the biggest change from last year is him. So if
Hmm.
you kind of compare last year to this year,
Mm,
they aren't as good as they were last year. So
that's true. Yeah.
and
That's
I
yeah.
mean, early in the season, he was lost. He was
Yeah.
struggling. The way
Yeah.
he was playing, the pressure of wearing the shirt, it
It's a
took him
big. It's
it's a big
big.
pressure. It took
It's a
him a
big pressure.
while to kinda settle down and get comfortable,
Hmm.
and, last season, everyone was pretty comfortable in the team. They had been there
Yeah.
for at least a year or 2, and they're used to the pressure from the Madrid fans, but, this year,
Yeah.
because I remember watching him early in the season, and I said, What is this guy doing? What you have all the skills, but you are offside 10 times in one
Yeah.
it was just things
He
that,
was just all
you can't
over the
really
place.
explain. He was all over the place trying to do too much,
Yeah.
not playing as a team, essentially.
Yeah.
If you're one with your team and you really understand your teammates, you're not gonna be
Hmm.
offsides that much. You're gonna know
Hmm.
when the ball is coming. You're gonna know
Hmm.
when to make a run.
Hmm.
So,
I don't think you want to play a center striker position. I think his natural position is where Vinny plays.
mhm.
But if you're Ancelotti,
What are you gonna do?
what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
You can't
yeah,
sit him down.
you can. I mean, he doesn't look comfortable being the center striker.
Yeah, yeah. They
Um,
they just a lot of them too were also lazy during the game. Like I was saying, they were not pressing. They
mhm,
really there was a lot of walking when Arsenal has the ball back and they're passing it back to their back three and just going back and forth, back and forth.
mhm,
They don't have the high press like Liverpool is always doing,
mhm,
right? So most of the time you just walking and like, all right, we were soaking the pressure and then just knock the ball back and forth, knock the ball back and forth. So they just lack a lot of desire just to do the basic things, and I think
mhm.
that's really what's really kill them. But
Yeah,
un-
I think the scoreline from the first game made it
yeah,
really hard because they needed to score early to get their
and that,
confidence up, to,
mhm.
to have them thinking that they can win. So, you know, if you go through the first half and you don't score, now you have to score four in the
Yeah,
second half
in
to
the
even
second
have a
half, which is
chance,
yeah,
which is, it's very unlikely. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But let's also give Arsenal some credit though. They denied opportunity to Mbappe and Vinny and
Hmm.
Jude.
Hmm.
Um, they just Arsenal just had the personality. They just had the character. I can't believe I'm saying this as a Chelsea fan, but I gotta give them
It's
credit where
true
it's
though.
due.
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't just sit back. I remember last episode I was just saying, man, if I was Arsenal, I'm gonna try to sit back and soak in as much pressure as they were as Madrid is gonna give them, but they did not do that.
Yeah.
They didn't, and I was super shocked about that. What did you think about Rice's performance? And
Rice played great.
yeah,
Yeah, he played
yeah,
good. He played with a lot of heart. He played hard.
money
He
was
was
there.
pressing. Something you'd want the Madrid
Hmm.
team to do, but he was pressing the whole game. He was playing really hard. The first leg he
He,
dominated. I
he
mean
worked his ass off.
his goals were clinical.
Yeah,
He came to play.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They and also one thing too. Arsenal wasn't afraid of Madrid's history of they come back, they're gonna come back, they're gonna come back, right?
Hmm.
They really didn't care about any of that. And one lethal player that Arsenal had back, Saka, it was a huge boost for them.
Yeah.
Um, what did you think of that PK that they got?
Yeah, he's. I mean,
That's ballsy.
that's ballsy, and it didn't work. But I
Yeah,
mean, ultimately he got the goal and they won. But
yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean. That's good. It's a good sign that he missed it and they were still able to continue carry the momentum,
Cameron,
play
yeah,
well,
yeah,
not let their shoulders fall. So
yeah,
credit
exactly.
credit to the team, and then credit
Absolutely.
to Saka for getting a redemption goal. So
Huge too. It
yeah,
came at the right time for him too.
yeah.
Huge. I saw a random stat that they said Arsenal ran 13 miles more
Mm,
than Real Madrid over the two legs.
wow,
13 more miles than them. So
that
just
says a lot.
imagine that
That
it says
says
a
a
lot.
lot.
You can't keep riding your luck, or you can't keep riding as a Madrid. We can't keep riding that wave of with the Champions League, There's
Yeah.
at some point teams are just gonna figure you out. So that's what I thought about that.
Hmm.
Um, and then I heard at the end of the season that Ancelotti might be leaving.
Yeah, it's been rumored. They've been rumored that he might go to Brazil or coach the national team in Brazil. And I don't know. I mean, if there's where there's smoke, there's probably fire. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of Brazilians on the team. They really like him as a coach,
yeah,
and it might be time for someone to take Real Madrid to the next chapter. They're
yeah.
always looking for coaches don't last too long in these big teams. So
They don't, which I don't. I mean, he going there. He's won big trophies,
mhm.
So it's crazy. So you predicted Arsenal will lose 2-0, and I predicted
Wait,
uh you predicted or I mean no, excuse me. I predicted that Real Madrid will beat Arsenal 2-0, and then you
yeah,
said Real Madrid will win 2-1 on
yeah.
that one. Yeah. So
So we were both wrong.
we're both wrong on
We thought
that.
Real Madrid would win, but
Yeah, but that didn't really happen. So we will see
Mhm.
at the end of the season how they fare out. Barcelona won today, so the La Liga is also running really thin.
Yeah, it's getting close.
It's getting really close. And I think they both play each other in a Copa del Rey, if I'm not
Mhm,
mistaken.
mhm.
So that's gonna be another big match for Madrid to hopefully get a trophy this season. So
Yeah, it's on Saturday. Yeah,
yeah,
that'll be a good match.
yeah, we'll see how that go. And then another big one.
Yes,
My
sir.
goodness, Inter Milan at home versus Bayern Munich. You predicted that Inter will win 1-0, and I predicted Bayern, my favorite to win it all, will win 2-1. And we're both wrong again. Wow, that is crazy. Inter Milan, where do I even start from? They started with the 3-5-2 formation, and
Mhm.
Bayern started with 4-2-3-1. I know why Inter Milan started with the 3-5-2. Playing three in the back is very difficult. I mean, you play the game. Have you ever played? Remember playing three in the back?
Yeah, last season when we played, that was what took us to the championship. We played three in the back. We played essentially like a 3-5-2, but the three defenders were naturally midfielders or center mids.
Yeah,
So it wasn't, just all out fullbacks. It was three defenders that could play with the
yeah.
ball,
Hmm.
and we had cohesion kind of throughout the season.
You
So
need it. You
we
need
need,
it.
yeah, you need the cohesion because you need to constantly be talking. But if you have a good, if you have a good team and you have a good system,
Yeah.
you can really take control of the game because you have an extra midfielder essentially, and then you have kind of more people pressing up top.
Hmm.
So I mean, it was fun. I felt like when we played that way, we were
Yeah.
always on the attack, and the
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
thing we're susceptible is if there's for a counterattack or if someone hits
Mhm.
the ball long, you just have to be quick enough to catch the striker. But other than that, if you play consistent and you play tight, you should have really good control of the game.
Yeah. Um, Bayern 4-2-3-1. Kane up top. And then Sani and Abri doing your job.
Hmm.
As soon as I saw five midfield, I was like, oh, okay, they want to compress Bayern as much as possible in the middle and
Hmm.
hopefully catch them on the counter.
Hmm.
Bayern conceded on set pieces. One of them was a corner, and one of them was Pavard, who actually used to play for Bayern, right? And he came back and hunt them.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to celebrate, but he did. So he must
It's
have
the
left off
spirit.
on, yeah, yeah. And it was also Muller's last game, last Champions League game for Bayern. Again, Bayern had big chances. The big chances that they had in the first game that they didn't pull it through.
Hmm.
That's what came and hunt them.
It
Um,
came back to hunt them. Yeah,
yeah,
very close game.
yeah, Bayern were always going to concede no matter what because
Mhm.
just the back wasn't just solid enough. There's always something that is going on through the back. Going forward is fine. It's like Bayern's like a Lamborghini that has a Toyota back,
Yeah.
right? It
It
looks like
looks good
really
up front.
yeah, it looks really good up front. And when you go look at the back, it's like a Toyota Camry or something like that,
Yeah.
right? They just mismanage moments, and uh, they just did not capitalize, right? They Do you know that Bayern also created more chances? They
Mm.
created a lot more chances than Inter Milan did, but they just did not capitalize. And you know how Inter is. As soon as they go up a goal,
Mhm.
good luck.
Mhm.
You're not gonna break them that easy, right? You're not gonna, yeah.
Yeah,
Bayern
they're a well-coached team. And
very, very
Inter's a
good.
very good
Inzaghi.
team. Yeah.
Inzaghi is a very, very good coach. Then Bayern just which is just not clinical enough, and I'm afraid that's what just bite them at the end. And Inter just did enough to just go through. To be honest,
Mhm.
they really did enough. And if you really look back their track record, they Inter barely conceded that many goals too throughout the whole tournament. That's
Okay.
something yeah, that's something people are not paying close attention to. So I'm super excited to see how far they go. I know you had tipped them, and I was like,
It's a good team. They're playing really
yeah.
well in Syria. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a close game. I knew that. I had a
Wow.
feeling that they were going to win.
Really?
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah,
I was like, man, Bayern has a really good draw. Kane, ultimate trophy for him finally. But oh my goodness, I was just so disappointed. They just didn't pull it through for me, and that's something that it was just so sad. So
yeah. I mean, they gave it a good run. They have a really good team. They're playing well in Bundesliga. I
yeah,
just yeah, it
they
didn't
yeah,
fall right for them this season.
it didn't, and going there to win over there, it was a daunting task. It was a
Mm-hmm.
really daunting task, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for Inter that they went through. Whoever is playing them next, do you want to quickly brush through those games next so that we can
The
do
next
a
game,
quick,
the
yeah,
next games are the
yeah, the next semis.
yeah. So the next two matches is Arsenal versus PSG,
Okay, so PSG versus Arsenal. Okay.
and then Barcelona versus Inter. Yeah, this
um,
is gonna be tight.
that's gonna be. Um, what are you thinking?
So okay, let's do Arsenal and PSG first. I
Okay.
think first game.
Who's playing home? Can we find out?
I can try.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first game Arsenal's playing home
Hmm.
uh next Tuesday, and then the following on May 7th, PSG will be home.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, this is gonna be
So
close. I don't know. What do you think about this
I
one?
can't I can't I can't split these two. I can't split them apart. Arsenal has been tremendously good at home, though. To be honest with you, and
Yeah, they've been good at home. They're starting off at home. They just beat Real Madrid twice, so they're probably riding on a high. And then they kind of it'll be good. I mean, it's gonna be tough to
yeah.
beat them at home, especially with how well they played all season. Um, yeah, it's gonna be. I could give it. You want me to give a prediction?
I'm gonna go one. I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1. Mm.
I'm gonna go 1-1. I'm gonna stick with it.
I think there'll be more goals than two
I
goals.
know. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be okay.
Two
I'll
two,
do
three
2
two.
2, 2 2.
Gonna do 2-2.
Yeah.
All right. Barca Inter. Who's home?
All right. Barcelona's home first game. Inter home the second game.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna favor Barcelona this tie
At home.
at home. Especially the way they're playing all year. I'll go um Barcelona 2-1 first
Hmm.
game.
Yeah, I predicted the same 2-1 Barcelona
Hmm.
the first game, and I think Inter will probably finish them off. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for that one.
Yeah. Let's see how the first game goes
Yeah,
first.
yeah, exactly. The first game is gonna determine a lot for that one. So we will see. We will definitely see how that goes. So um, we will see how that go. So yeah, that's the quick recap of the Champions League.
You want to quickly touch on the other games? I
Yeah, yeah,
watched
oh yeah. The Villa. Which one was it? Villa and
Villa, PSG, and Dortmund, Barcelona. Well,
uh,
Dortmund, Barcelona um, it was interesting. The scoreline they won 3-1 the second game, but Barcelona had
uh-huh.
such a big advantage from the first game. There wasn't much they could do.
What was
Uh,
your prediction score on that
uh,
game? Oh, on the thing. Okay, you said Barca will win 3-1.
Barca lost 3-1.
Wow. Yeah, and I said Barca will win 3-2. So Barca did lose 3-1, huh?
Yeah, they lost 3-1, but I think they won 4-0 the first game.
Yeah,
So
so it was already game over
it
by
was
then.
pretty much game over. That's why I thought they would just finish them off, but
Yeah.
um,
I could see how they could also be laid back on that as well.
yeah, pretty laid back. They were just trying to
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dortmund played great. Their striker had a hat trick. It was right place,
He
right
had a,
time. He scored a penalty. He had a great game. He played really
what's the
good.
guy's name again? What's the guy's name again? Uh,
Gurasi, I forget his
yeah,
first name,
yeah,
but
yeah. Gurasi, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sergio Gurasi. He played great. He was
He's from
clinical.
Guinea. He's
Okay.
African. Yeah, he's from Guinea.
Anytime he had a
29
chance,
years
he
old.
put it away.
Yeah. Wow. Man, his rating was 9.6. Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, he played good. Because I
And
watching the game, like anytime the three goals, there were just quick chances. He was in front of the goal and he put it in. It was
I put
impressive.
it, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And then Villa PSG, what a game. My
crazy
goodness.
game.
That is
Woo.
why I that's what I think Arsenal might exploit PSG a little bit and because PSGs tend to sleep for some reason too. I don't know why. Like when they go up on some games, then all of a
Hmm.
sudden they just like da 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 da, and then all of a sudden boom boom boom, other team
Yeah,
starts scoring, and
yeah,
then they wake up. They need
hmm,
in Dembele and Hakim and all those. They need full strength against Arsenal.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Then they can't have like a game like this because
no,
and Aston Villa almost came back. They
yeah,
were one
the
goal away. Yeah,
aggregate was 4-5.
yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
crazy.
they cannot sleep. They cannot sleep against Arsenal. That is you will get buried just like Madrid.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. So the next round semi is gonna be fun. An English side going in the final will be interesting.
Yeah.
Even though most London clubs don't want them to go through, and then if you're a rival supporter, you always go and support the other side.
Yeah.
I'm sure Real Madrid fans will be supporting Inter Milan for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
So
They don't want to
we
see. They don't want to see Barcelona.
they
You
don't
know,
want to see them go
get
through.
another trophy. Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll see how that go.
Yeah.
So still on the topic of soccer, Van Dijk.
Van Dyke. Yeah. It was close.
Yeah,
I mean, they. It seems like he was about a month ago. He was ready to leave, but I
yep,
think he's happy at Liverpool. He's used to it. He likes the teammates. He
yeah,
likes the coach.
yep.
Yeah. So they got him.
And guess who was a big factor as to why he's staying?
Who?
Mo Salah.
Yeah.
Mo Salah's a big. If Mo Salah would have left, he'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna take my talent somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I think Mo Salah signing it was huge. It's like a ripple effect. That's what I'm kind of surprised why Trent is leaving though, because
Hmm.
it Trent Lee. I don't know because Liverpool is almost as big. Don't kill me, but I think they're almost in the European stage. They're almost as big, and they winning, and they always keep winning. They have the winning culture and whatnot. So I think Trent should have stayed, and they should have ride out their contract and just keep dominating, dominating. But what do
Hmm.
I know? But Van Dyke is signing that 2 year contract. Is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Yeah.
Did Trent give a reason? Any main reasons why he wanted to go?
Well, his contract has died out, and he kind of want a new challenge
Yeah.
outside of England, which is becoming a trend. A couple of episodes back, I had mentioned that English players didn't really like playing outside of England.
Hmm.
One of the very first people that really actually did that, I think, was do I want to say Beckham? Was one of the most poster faces when he did PSG. Then he played AC Milan.
Real
Then he
Madrid.
played Real Madrid. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
then slowly, English players start going abroad, slowly and slowly and slowly. Yeah,
Hmm.
but usually English players don't at all. So I was big. I was really, really, really surprised that he did.
Yeah. Maybe he's talking to Jude, and Jude is like,
Mm,
Jude. No, Jude. I mean, he's English, so
yeah,
I mean,
I
sometimes you
get
want to
it.
try. Yeah, I get it. Sometimes you want to try
Yeah,
something new. You spend your whole life in one country. You want to
yeah,
try something new. Play for a different team. Play for another powerhouse team.
And it's not a
So
small club. It's not a small club he's joining.
yeah,
So you guarantee a trophy
and yeah, that's true.
next
And
to your name.
also, um, I see rumors of Jurgen Klopp
I
being
know. I saw that
named
too.
with Real Madrid. It would make sense. It would make sense, um, because I know he took a break,
Yeah,
but
sabbatical break.
the way he is, he
Hmm.
needs to be in the action.
You think so?
Yes, I think so.
It's a lot
It's
of. It's a stressful
it's
job.
it's a stressful job, but I don't think Real Madrid. I don't know. Liverpool was very stressful. I felt like,
Yeah,
especially that the season had where they struggled. I can
yeah,
imagine that took a toll on him because
yeah,
they didn't have any answers. They kept losing, and it was like felt like the walls were caving in. Where I don't
yeah.
think Real Madrid it'll ever be that bad in La Liga.
Mm-mm.
So they're kind of worried more about Champions League, La
Yeah,
Liga. They'll continue to maintain their top spot or their place between Barcelona and Real Madrid. But
yep.
um,
Because
yeah,
The Madrid job is just not any ordinary job. It's a big job.
it's a big
Like
job.
it's a big job. So be careful what you wish for, club. Because
Yeah,
I heard that Xabi Alonso they flirting with that idea too. The
yeah,
Bayern Leverkusen coach.
yeah.
He used to be a Liverpool legend, and I think he went to Madrid. Did he play at Madrid?
I don't remember.
Yeah. But he's doing really well.
Yeah, he's been doing really well.
So I don't know how that is gonna plan out if he goes to Real Madrid.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, he did play Madrid. He played for Liverpool, Bayern, and Real Sociedad.
okay.
Wow. So it will make sense why Madrid wants to approach him.
Yeah,
And he's
he
been
did
doing
really
very
well.
well at Bayern Leverkusen. I
Yeah.
don't know where are they in the table. Uh,
Uh,
can you check
yeah. Let
where
me
they're?
check real quick.
Yeah, I think it will make sense for Xabi Alonso rather than Klopp, just for the simple fact that
They're second in the table.
they're second table. How many points behind Bayern?
8.
Okay,
Yeah.
with about okay, yeah, I think it will make sense for. I just don't know because the Eagles on there. You think they will respect Xabi Alonso?
Yeah, I think based on the job he's done at Leverkusen, I think they'll
Hmm.
respect him. It'll be a different culture than Carlo. I think Jurgen Klopp would be closer to Carlo Ancelotti
That's what
versus
I'm saying. Yeah,
Xavi.
he's 43.
Yeah, he's pretty young.
Yeah, he's pretty young. I think Madrid is the club. If he was to stay, they'll probably be like 2 years max. But
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso, I feel like if they're looking for the long term, like 5 years or something like that, then Xabi Alonso might be the right man for the job.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. There'll be some changes because yeah, Real Madrid. And it seems like I think he was rumored to leave last year,
Hmm.
and he shut down the rumors. And this year, I feel like the pressure is mounting and mounting. It might
Yeah,
be
he's
time
a
for
great. I love him as a coach. Him and
yeah.
Moreno are my two favorites.
Yes, great coach.
But I don't think he's gonna do club anymore. He just probably just could do international.
Hmm.
He reached, yeah. He
Yeah,
has a. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. I
He
felt
has.
like I felt like Klopp, because he like Pep, they live for the matches. Like if you don't have the week to week, maybe even if it's not week to week, but you live for the adrenaline of going up against a rival or another Premier League team, and just like it's like a drug. So if you take a sabbatical, you're gonna want to come back to it, even though it's stressful. It's what you've
Yeah,
been doing,
they've been doing. Yeah,
for so long. So I
yeah.
figured he would come back at some point.
He will. Yeah. That's what
Also,
Moreno's
it's like
push.
a change of pace too. For him, it's probably the same thing over and over. Just like the players, he's kind
That's
of
true.
in the same cycle of with the
That's
team,
true.
same players, same staff.
That's true.
So I think that get no matter who you are, that's gonna get tiring after some time.
after some time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we see who Madrid ends up with. It just always find it interesting when they announce a coach taking over your place when the season is still going. I was like, come
Yeah, or they announce that they're looking for a new coach
on,
while
come
the current coach is still coaching games.
on. Yeah, he's still coaching, but they, you
It's
know how it
strange.
is with these clubs. Yeah, they don't really care. And then quickly before we switch on,
Yep,
Chicago Fire made an approach to sign Kevin De Bruyne.
he's not going
Um,
to Chicago.
really?
I don't think so. Well, I
And
mean, it- yeah, I don't think he'll go to Chicago. I mean, it's a great city, but they're not really a really sexy team in MLS. They haven't been
when
playing.
when we were young back in what 05, 06, we were in high school, Chicago Fire was the team to be at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
back then they were really good.
they're really good.
Uh, but they haven't. Yeah, they haven't done anything recently,
No, that
and
attracts.
like it would be tough. Yeah, you'd want to go to a team that's already playing really well, that has great players, versus a team that has decent players,
Hmm.
and you're just the only star.
Hmm.
And no, living in the Midwest, I don't know.
The
I don't know.
weather is gonna be cold. There's gonna
I
be
just don't see it.
cold.
It's gonna be cold.
Yeah, I mean he's from Belgium. It does snow a lot in Belgium, but probably not as much as
Chicago,
Chicago.
yeah.
Yeah, we
And
will see.
and so Inter Miami has his discovery rights. That's what I read, that they have the first chance at signing KDB. I don't know how that works, but that's what I've read. So,
That's gonna be interesting.
yeah.
That's gonna be interesting. I would love for that to happen, but I wouldn't like it because it gives too much power over to Inter. But yeah, I like when they go to different. Like when you remember when Henry went to New York Bulls, and then Drogba was over here, and then
Yeah.
Zlatan went to LA, and I like when it's spread out like that.
Yeah.
It brings in more revenue too because
Mhm.
people want to watch big stars at big stages at different paces. So yeah, so we'll see how that go or how that unfolds.
Yeah, I mean, I love watching him. If he came to
Oh
MLS,
man, I'll
yeah,
definitely watch.
I would love him watching him tear up the league. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's
but
gonna be.
it's like, what does he want to do? If he wants to go to Saudi Arabia and take the money, maybe that's it's kind of up
Might
to
be the
him.
best option.
Yeah,
This
it
may
might
be
be
the
the
best
best
option
option.
for him to go. Yeah, for sure. So quickly, yeah. So that's a wrap up for that. I'm gonna quickly go through the leagues around the world, the top four tables. So Premier
Hmm.
League, Liverpool already won it. They're at 79. Arsenal at 66 points. City won today, beat Villa.
Close
Two
game.
close games. So
Close game. I could tell Pep was stressed. He was because he's like, I need to be in the top four.
I'm like,
He
how they did third now? How they were
Yeah.
like 11th or 12th place, 14 point behind, like back in December. And I
Yeah.
think you had mentioned you were like, dude, don't count City out until the second half of the season.
Hmm.
They're at 61 points, and then Forest, guess what? They beat Spurs today.
Mm. Wow.
I was hoping Spurs beat Forest, but they beat Spurs today, so that jumped them up to fourth place at
Close.
60. And then you have Newcastle United at 59, and Chelsea and Villa are both 57.
Woo,
Wow,
man.
it is hot.
It
I'm
is
not. I'm
tight.
not even counting Bortman. Bortman is eighth place
Yeah, I don't think
with
they're ready
49.
yet. Yeah, it's essentially Chelsea,
Whoo, it's
Aston Villa,
boiling up.
Newcastle. They're all gonna be, and even City. They're all
Yeah,
really fighting for the last two spots.
yeah. So we will see how that unfold. I'm super excited to see how the rest of the season unfolds,
Hmm.
especially in the Premier League.
How many
La
more games are left? One, two, three, four,
Uh,
five. Five.
yeah, I think it's 15 points up for grabs. So 15 or 18 points up for grabs.
Okay.
And then quickly, the La Liga table, you have Barcelona 76, Madrid at 69. Wow. So 7 points.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
possible. It's possible.
Jeez, really? I didn't. Okay. And then Atletico Madrid at 63. And then Athletic Club at 57. Wow. Okay. You think
Hmm.
it's possible? Barcelona cannot slip up. There's
Yeah,
no way.
it would Real Madrid would need a lot of help. That's the thing, and I don't see Barcelona slipping up.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
yeah.
It's,
That
yeah.
the last time I mean, obviously they lost to Dortmund, but the last game Barcelona lost, I'm still scrolling, son.
Oh my God.
The last game they lost
Yeah.
was in December of 2024 to
Jeez.
Atletico
Against
Madrid.
who? Atletico Madrid. That guy is
Yeah,
such a good coach. Hansi Flick is such a good coach.
yeah.
I love him and Unai Emery, the
I
guy
can't
that's a
believe that they
Villa.
haven't lost a game all year.
That is crazy. That's a
That
crazy
is
record.
insane. That's a great crazy stat.
Fact that Madrid is able to kind of be at the neck too. They're not running away with it though, but Madrid is
Yeah,
still kind of sniffing it a little bit here and there.
yeah.
So that is pretty crazy.
Did you see the clip of Ansu Fati on the bench?
No, he was just frustrated.
Yeah. So I think Flick called him to get warmed up, and then he called him off. So I don't
Oh,
know. I didn't watch the game, but he was getting warmed up, and then he told him he's not going in, and then he kind of threw a fit. As a player,
I, I
I
will.
totally understand.
I
I would
will.
be mad.
I will. Yeah, because
I
you have to. Because he was supposed to be before Lamine Yamal. He was supposed to be the next phenom.
He was the one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
he
he
was
got
the one.
injured. Yeah, and he got injured, and that's one thing about the sport is once you have injury blow, it messed up. It messed up your
It
whole.
messes up your trajectory
It
because
does.
you're
Yeah,
out for a while. People forget about
and
you.
then it
Then once
come
you come back, you have to kind of get to that level you were at
and work for your place.
and work for your place again because they
Yeah,
have someone new coming in to
yeah.
place you. Yeah, you got to try to stay
Ri-
healthy as much as you
Ri-
can.
Rich James, the perfect example.
Yeah, he's been battling injuries
For a
for
long
so
time.
long, and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
the coach is forced to find somebody else if you're not
You have to.
available.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, they can't just. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Pep said something recently. He said I forget what he said, but he said the biggest the kind of the big most important thing for players to be available. If you can't play,
Yeah.
why are you
He
here?
has no
What are
use
you
for.
here
Yeah,
for? I have no use for you. If
he
you're
doesn't.
always on the injury table,
He
it's
doesn't. Yeah,
yeah.
and it's a very, very. That's why their diet. That's why Ronaldo has been able to perform such a high level for so many years. They always ask him. He's like, my diet is my number one.
Mhm.
And he doesn't drink either. Like even after game champagnes and stuff like that, he
Mhm.
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Same with LeBron.
Oh,
His
really?
yeah, LeBron is super he's really into taking care of his body, recovering. That's why, at his age, he's still playing.
That's
He's
crazy.
40 and he's still playing with the kids. Ronaldo is 40. I don't know how old he is, but he's still
41,
41.
40.
He's still
Yeah.
able to play. So it's not
Yeah.
luck. It's a lot of
It's not
hard
long.
work and
Yeah. Yeah.
consistency.
Consistency. Yeah. And
Messi
the
too.
mentality.
Messi
Yeah.
too.
Messi too. Yeah.
And then you
Mentality.
look at Neymar. It just that's all that that's a
That's
clear
another story.
example of
Yeah.
someone that didn't take
Yeah.
care of himself as
One of
well.
these episodes we're gonna do a special where we just go back of what ifs players and just
Man,
go through players that we like, your eating hazards and your Neymars, and it's like, oh man,
what
just the
happened?
talent. Yeah, what
They're so
happened? The
so
talent,
talented. Yeah.
talent is there, and then it just let it go. So quickly with Bundesliga, we have Bayern at 72 and Bayern Leverkusen at 64.
Mm.
That's also another one that's gonna go. I think Bayern's gonna run with that one. Um,
You ever watch the Bundesliga? It, it's
every
it's
now and then,
it's kind of I
everyone.
used to watch it more
Mhm.
maybe a couple years ago when they had some American players, but it was an exciting brand of soccer.
Yeah.
It wasn't,
Do you think it went down a little bit?
I don't know. I just haven't. I feel like obviously Bayern's always at the top of the table, so there really
Dominating.
isn't much of a race. I mean,
Yeah.
Leverkusen has given them a challenge, but I just like kind of any team in the
Hmm.
table. If you watch them, they play hard, and it's very entertaining to watch.
Hmm.
It's not a boring style of soccer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think
I
after Bayern Leverkusen kind of gave them a little bit challenge, it brought a little bit excitement to them now.
hmm
Yeah. So that kind of made it more, I guess, more exciting too.
yeah, I need to start watching it again. I
Yeah. I
really liked
definitely.
watching. I like watching Bundesliga. It was fun because
Yeah.
back then they were giving a lot of they gave a lot of young kids minutes to play. So
Play. Yeah.
you see kids just out there trying things.
Musiala come in and daggles.
Musiala, Sancho,
Yeah. Sancho.
Bellingham,
Yeah. All
Pulisic
those
at the
guys came in.
time.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of young kids.
Yeah.
Holland too. So
Oh
all these,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
there are
yeah,
all
yeah.
these really good players, all in Bundesliga at that one time. That's when I was watching it really consistently.
I didn't even think about that.
Even
Yeah.
Leroy Sané, he was
Um,
at Schalke. Leroy Sané, he was at Schalke
mhm,
before he went to City, and
mhm.
he was just tearing it up.
Dang, but
That's why City
now I'm thinking
snapped
about
him.
Bundesliga has had some players, man.
They've had a lot of good players. Yeah,
Wow.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, he was at
Yeah,
Wolfsburg, I think.
Wolfsburg. Yeah,
Yeah, Wolfsburg.
I
Yeah.
think I don't know if Salah was in
No,
Bundesliga.
he wasn't.
It wa-
He wasn't. I think Italian league.
Okay,
I think Roma or something like that. So speaking of Italian league, Inter is at 71 and Napoli is at 71.
good segue. Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
I see
Bar.
you.
Yeah. And then Atlanta is right on the third with 64. And
Wow,
then
Napoli. Now Napoli is
Bologna is at 60. And then Juve is at 59
yeah,
in fifth
it's
place.
been an interesting season.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
In,
Inter's been
Inter
playing
and
good.
Napoli. Yeah.
Napoli is really it's close. Usually it's Juve, Roma, Milan. They're kind of up there, but this season they
They
haven't been as
haven't really.
consistent.
Yeah. So yeah, so we see we definitely see how that one goes. And then League One,
League.
we gotta get the league. PSG is done and dusted, 78 points. Marseille is 55 points.
Farmers League.
Bro, this is a how
Farmers League.
23
That's
23
crazy.
points?
That's
23
crazy.
points. Nah. That's why
Wow.
nobody watches. And Monaco is at 54, and then Lille is at 53.
Yeah, if I look at the matches
They can
and then
lose
I
all
look
their
and
game and still win.
it takes away the excitement because
Nobody,
it's not going to be competitive.
yeah.
If
Who's
it's not,
gonna
if it's not going to be competitive, it's like,
Yeah, like it doesn't like if you look at the EPO, even though Liverpool ran with it, s-
it's
third and
close
fourth
games.
is
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be Pep is gonna lose a lot of more hair on the bald head of his in the next 2 3 weeks coming.
Yeah.
So the good thing is none of them are in the Champions League. City, Chelsea, Forest, Villa is out, so they're all gonna be focusing on there. So
Marseille has a good team. I'm looking
they
at
do, they do.
their squad. They have some good players.
They've had some legends that has played at Marseille.
Mm,
Um, there's this Ghanaian guy called Abedi Pele. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but
mm,
he played there. Like there's been famous. A lot of Africans has played there, like famous people.
mhm,
I play at Marseille.
mm,
Um, so I don't know if you know Payet. Barthez was a goalkeeper for the French team way back then.
mhm.
They've just had incredible talent over there. But you know, Drogba used to play for Marseille before Chelsea went and scoop him.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
William Gallas. I don't know if you remember Gallas. I used to love Gallas when I was back in high school. He used to play for Arsenal.
Mhm,
Nasri, you remember Nasri, Arsenal
mhm,
player?
mhm.
Yeah, yeah. They as Cesar Azpilicueta, the Chelsea defender.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot. There
Where
you
does
go.
he play now? I feel like he plays
Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
right.
saw him there. He's still doing
Yeah.
his thing there, man.
Yeah.
He always has his shorts tucked in. I
Yep.
mean, his shirt tucked in.
That's his
Super,
look.
yeah, super professional guy. I love that guy.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's our run up for sports section of it. Good 50 minutes for you guys. Exciting weekend of football this weekend too as well. As the top four is heating up all across Europe. So we will bring you more next
Yeah,
week
yeah.
of
So
soccer and then see how that goes. Yeah,
yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Real Madrid bounces back in La Liga
La Liga. Yeah, they're
since
still
they're out of.
sniffing.
Yeah,
They're still
they still
sniffing.
have a chance, but let's see how they play. They play Getafe on tomorrow. Juventus and AC Milan play in Syria, and Arsenal
Hmm.
plays Crystal Palace tomorrow. So there's still
Yeah,
good
there's still a
matches
lot to
coming
play
up.
now.
A lot to
Yeah,
play for.
yeah, lots to play for this weekend. So yeah, that's it for our soccer football section. We're gonna
Hmm.
switch into our music section. There's a
Where do you want
lot
to
going
start?
on.
Where do you want
I
to
don't,
start?
I don't even want to start. There's a lot going on. There's a lot. I'm gonna start with the singles that drop. I don't know if you're able to had a chance to. I was gonna text you to get a chance to listen to them.
Mm.
Uh,
I didn't get a chance to listen to these to
oh man,
the new
JID.
singles.
I don't know if you're familiar with JID or if you like it, but I love JID music.
Hmm.
Anything that he drops, I'm all ears. His last album was probably one of my favorite that dropped that year, The Forever Story. And he's come up with a new single. It's a good bounce, a good car record. I love it.
Hmm.
Say with
Yeah, I've listened to him before. I like his
Oh
music.
man, yeah, he has the Kendrick like ish, kind of like tone style.
Yeah.
Flows are great. Storytelling is great. He has a really cohesive albums. He Whoever you put on the mic with, he's on the same level. He just overall just a great artist, and I hope he carries the torch for the generation that are coming.
Is he
Um,
who is he signed with?
Dreamville,
Dreamville. Okay,
yeah,
that's right.
Dreamville, yeah,
That's right.
he's under J Cole's umbrella,
Okay.
yeah. And then Rayvon TDE, he's also one of my favorite, making a lot of waves, man. His new song Dollar Menu is off his mix mixtape coming up. That's gonna
Hmm.
be his first debut album under the TDE label.
Okay.
He reminds me of Pusha T when he's rapping. He articulates really well and he's like that. I just love that raw, like that raw raps. Like
Hmm.
just pronunciation, stories and all that. So
Got some heat coming, huh?
yeah, yeah. And then Pusha T and then do you watch the show Godfather of Harlem?
I don't.
Oh, have you heard about it?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I heard it's good. I haven't seen it though.
Very, very good.
Okay.
Forrest Whitaker, but they have a season 4 that just dropped, and they dropped the soundtrack, and there's a track on there called Danger Danger
Mm.
with Pusha T, Jada Kiss, and Swiss Beats. I think Swiss Beats produced the whole thing. Another heat. Those are my 3 sleepers this week that everybody should check out.
Danger, danger.
Um, yeah, Danger Danger, JID Work, and then Rayvon Dallamenu.
Okay.
All straight up heat. If you
Okay.
like bounce, if you like a good beat, good production. The Danger Dangers just sounds really, really polished. Pusha T's uh Daytona album.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like the song, everything just sounds so rich and like super polished.
Yeah.
That's kind of raps that it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just love it. Yeah. So yeah, and then Young Thug mentioned he's dropping an album. Are you a Young Thug fan? Are you looking
Definitely a
forward to
Young
it?
Thug
Really?
fan. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I
Okay.
like Thug. Yep. Um, just going back to sleepers, there's a couple songs I listened
Oh yeah,
to.
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Um, Future Metro, Streets Made Me a
Oh,
King. Have you heard that? It's from the album Still Don't Trust You, but there's
yeah,
a song called Streets Made Me a King. You should listen to that when you get a chance.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's got a bob to it. It's a good song. And there's one more that I was gonna say. I forget what it. Oh, Offset, Skyami. Have you heard that song, Skyami? Watch the video too.
Really?
I mean, I think it came out a year or two ago, but it's just a club song that has a good bounce to it.
That who good bounce to it?
Yeah,
Wow.
Skyami. Yeah, you like it.
What a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this new Young Thug album, he's not he's not an artist that drops that I'm like rushing to it. I'm gonna be honest. I know a lot of people, he's like a lot of people's favorite.
Hmm.
Um, but do you think this album, the feds are gonna be listening?
They're al- they're gonna be listening forever. They're always gonna be listening.
Yeah,
The probation he has, it's such a long probation that
yeah,
he has to be careful with what he says, what he
yeah,
posts, everything.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what he raps about
Super interesting.
because
Super
he's a
interesting.
little limited in what he can say. But I really like I like his music. It's
Yeah,
good. It's very
yeah.
catchy.
Don't kill me off in the comments, but I just I've never listened to a full Young Thug album. I yeah, I know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the era that I grew up in, like how I was just like fanning over that Pusha T, like and JID and those
Different
guys. Like,
era. Yeah.
yeah, I just love. I want to be able to hear. I like bars. I like production. I like rich polish where I can But when I listen to them, I just feel like it's just like I just can't get
Mm.
into it. But I think I get it why people do like it though. It's kind of like the feel good music. You're getting ready to go out with your friends and you guys kind
Mm-hmm.
of in the car and yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he makes very catchy songs.
Yeah.
His ad libs are funny. His beat selection is good.
Is he a good
He's
feature?
he's a
Or is
good
he
feature. Yeah, there's a lot of songs I go back to,
okay?
and it's amazing. Even there's a mixtape song with him and um the guy who passed away last year. Um
Young Dove, there's
uh this song
is it a young
it's
guy?
it's heat. No, no,
Really?
it's not even on DSPs. It's a
At all?
SoundCloud. No, it's not on DSPs. It's
Jeez.
I think it's a SoundCloud song, but my gosh. And this is
There's
when they
someone
were
else?
just coming up. It's heat, son.
Dang,
I'll find
I
it. I'll
have to.
send
Yeah,
it
you
to
gotta
you.
find a sign
It's
and send
heat.
it. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I
Okay.
like Young Thug.
Okay.
He's good.
Yeah,
Very
I
good
can see
guy.
that. So moving on to that, more in my bag
Get
is
in your
mass.
bag, son.
Yeah, mass appeal. Mass appeal confirmed 7 albums dropping.
Jeez.
You have Nas and
When?
D. Not they don't know. They said this summer.
Okay.
Nas and DJ Premier, which I am. Ooh, has always been in my top 5
Mm-hmm.
artists and rappers
Mm-hmm.
since I think I was like in 11th grade or something. When I heard One Mike,
Mm.
I think I fell in love. I just everything about him is what I think the epitome of what an MC is. Just
Mm.
storytelling, educating you, bars,
Mm-hmm.
songs, albums. Just he wrote Illmatic when he was 16.
Jeez, that's crazy.
I know a lot of
That's
people don't.
insane. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
know.
didn't know
It's a
that.
fun fact. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's also another segment. One of these pods we're gonna do like hip hop fun fact, like albums that we can call classics
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or albums which you can listen to for the first time. You
Mm.
know, yeah,
Yeah, and see, yeah.
and see, yeah, or albums that we can go back and listen to when we are young. That like I recently listened to the Black album by Jay-Z. I was like, dang. Or like
It's good. Yeah,
444
it's
or
very
444 by Jay-Z.
the
I was like,
black.
wow.
Yeah, it's very Black album was very cohesive. The skits, it was a good album. I go
Right.
back to Good Kid, Mad City all the time.
Oh my goodness.
I like
Like
I go back to it and I'm like, man,
it no
this
wonder
thing
why
was
it's
a
been
masterpiece.
yeah. Yeah.
This thing was in my
She ran them. So yeah, I'm thinking of a pod idea now that we can really
Mm-hmm.
album that you listen to when you're young compared to now.
Mm-hmm.
And what you have learned from it. Yeah. So anyway, so Nas and DJ Premier and then Ghostface Killer, which is old heads type hip hop, and
Mm-hmm.
then De La Soul, and then Big L, and then Raekwon. Out of those five, Nas and DJ Premier, honestly, are the ones that I'm gonna rush to and I'm gonna listen to because DJ Premier, I love his production. I love the East Coast kind of vibe with Nas and things like that. So I'm
Okay.
super, 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 super excited for it. I'm definitely checking for it. I know it won't be doing the crazy numbers and all that stuff.
Doesn't matter
Um,
if it's
it
good.
doesn't matter if it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it's good,
yeah.
it's good.
If it's good, it's good. Yeah. So that's one thing that we should look forward to. So yeah. So on the next topic, do you want to take on to that, or do you want me to go on on Little
Yeah,
Wayne?
I can take it. Where do you want to go to? Lil Wayne.
Yeah, Lil.
So Lil Wayne claims he didn't know "Not Like Us" was Kendrick. It was a Kendrick Lamar song, or that he dissed
Yeah,
Drake,
yeah,
according to the Rolling Stones interview.
yeah.
Um, Very surprising that he was that he wouldn't know, but knowing Lil Wayne, he lives in his own bubble, so it could kind of make sense. Um, I can see him not watching the halftime performance because of how he felt
Whatever.
about not being chose to perform in New Orleans.
Yeah,
But him not knowing, him not kind of paying attention to the beef is crazy to me because of how mainstream, how popular, and how monumental the beef was. It's it doesn't happen, and he's a competitive rapper, so
very much so.
he should be in tune with
Yeah.
when two rappers are competing.
He also
I got
didn't know Lil Durk was in jail when he went to the interview room
this
and there
guy
was a
is
shirt
something else.
and a shirt. He was wearing the free Lil Durk shirt. Lil
Hmm.
Wayne has had a lot of wild stuff where he said he didn't know. At some point, I think
He's
he's lying. Like he just because I know he's super rich, but that he doesn't tap in. But his entourage of people around him have to keep him in the loop of something.
yeah,
Not knowing that not like us or words Drake because he was performing it on stage, kind of.
yeah. He was he dancing to it,
He was
or was
dancing to it
was
at
dancing to
Vegas.
it?
Yeah, at
Yeah,
Vegas.
it's a good song. Well, you can't deny
It's a
it.
bomb.
You can't deny it. It's a
Even Michael,
bob.
even Michael Jordan requested it. In like, I saw a clip where Michael Jordan like had requested a DJ to play it.
Really?
And yeah, it was bopping to it.
Hey
Yeah,
man.
I saw that.
As soon as I heard "Not Like Us," I said, "This beef, this battle is over."
We need. We also need to do another section of the because we missed
Yeah, we
that
did.
whole thread that whole month of it. So we need to dedicate like a show to it because there's so much
There's too
to
much
unpack.
going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to unpack over there.
but as soon as I heard "Not Like Us,"
Yeah.
I was like, "Ah, this is over," because it, it was such a hit. It was like, okay, you've already doubled down on the frequency of your records,
Mhm.
attacking Drake, and now you're gonna double down again with a smash. Well, there's nothing Drake can
It's-
do at this
No,
point. You just gotta
no,
smash. You can't go against a smash because
no.
it'll be hard to.
Yeah,
I was like, this is over.
we definitely need to do a pod about during that whole beef fiasco and where were you when you heard not like us. I remember I was coming out of a restaurant and then no, actually I was at Sam's Club and then I kid you not, some guy was going into the aisle with his like his partner or wife or whatever, and he pulled out his phone. He's like, Kendrick just dropped. And then
Mm.
he started playing it on his phone. So
Hmm.
I had to go to
It's
like
crazy.
yeah, I had to go to like a different aisle because I didn't want to hear it. I wanted to hear it in my car, like the first reaction. He's like, Kendrick just dropped. And then the wife rolled, is like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm similar. I was driving from Houston to Dallas,
Yeah.
and I think I just started getting messages that Kendrick dropped. Kendrick dropped.
Dude.
And I was like, all right, let's listen. Like
Let's
I played it in the car,
in the car, yeah.
and then I was like, God damn,
I
that's a
was
hit. That's a hit. It's
I
a
was like,
smash
yeah.
hit.
And it's
Because
funny.
my my wife is bopping to it, and she doesn't listen to rap music. If she's bopping to it,
Just
you
like
know
James.
it's a hit.
Yeah, you know it's hey, yeah, you can't,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He say Wayne. So back, circle back to Wayne. Also say he didn't know the beef was even like going on, or
Nah,
like
there's
he
no
did
way.
he
There's
did
no
it like
I
so
don't believe it.
I was like, all right, Wayne, okay, he didn't watch the Super Bowl halftime of important and all blah blah blah. But anyway, moving on with Drake
Oh,
streaming with go ahead.
yeah. On one note, there's a video of Drake's team watching the halftime Super Bowl performance.
Yeah,
I think they were in Australia for their
yeah,
tour, but they were like chilling at a restaurant or a cafe, and they were watching the Super Bowl, and they were watching the
yeah.
performance. So Drake wasn't there though.
Oh yeah, I did see that. They were kind of like sitting like
Hmm.
almost like a top golf type thing.
Yeah, it was like
Right, right.
it was that
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah, like an open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Did
man,
you? Yeah. So I caught clips of the stream with
I
Drake
did
and
too.
Adam,
I did
but I
too. Yeah.
didn't really. I didn't really. I
I
mean.
didn't tap in. It he's like I was saying, he's too visible for me. So it doesn't there's nothing exciting. When Kendrick did that Super Bowl interview with Ebro, that was the
Hmm.
first time he was out
Hmm.
since
He had to be.
the Super Bowl. I mean,
Yeah.
since the beef. And within a day, it was like a 1.1 million views.
Hmm. Because he's not visible.
He's not visible. When you're not visible, people want more of you.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I caught a glimpse of it, and he said he's bringing out a solo album.
Okay.
Drake said he's gonna bring a solo
He got the
album.
braids back.
Yeah. Do you think that? What do you? That's what would you expect from that solo album? Would you want a bloated playlist like he always does with 18, 19 songs, or like a cohesive 12, just rapping at people, just bars, or you think he's gonna mix it up with R&B here? What are you expecting in the long shot?
Oh, what I don't think he'll have very many features
Yeah. He said
based
I don't
on.
think he said he's not going to.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have any. I think you'll get a lot of rap, but I think he'll still mix in
Hmm.
R&B as well because that's his formula, and he caters to a really large audience. So if he just makes one type of music, he's. I
Yeah,
mean, if you look at social media, they love the R&B album that he just put out with Party Next
they do.
Door.
They do.
There's a lot of good. I don't know if you
A
listen to
lot
it,
of heat.
but there's some
Not
heat.
much. Yeah,
I know
I listened to
it's
it once.
like
It just wasn't for me. I think it's for core Drake fans, but for me, it just was. It's just
it's
too
it's for
slow.
the women.
Yeah,
It's
it
for the
is. Yeah,
women.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes but if you like if you go through it one time, you're not gonna like any. But you have to
That,
kind of dip
that's
in
kind of what I
every
did.
once in a while. It's there's as far as R&B, it's a good R&B project.
Okay,
So that's my it's
your take on that one.
that's my take on
Yeah,
it. But I'm expecting it because Party Next Door writes really good R&B, and
yeah,
Drake I
he
like
does.
when he sings. So,
Yeah, you
but
like
I'm
Drake with the
surprised
melody.
that
You
yeah,
like
I'm
you like
surprised that he's
Drake
not
with the
really.
melodies.
I like even Kendrick likes Drake with the
I
melodies.
know. I mean, he said it. Say he like Drake. I
I
don't
like
like
when you
Drake
act
when
tough.
he's not tough. Dude, we really need to dedicate a pod for that whole beef. We missed that whole.
We did.
We
Cause
did it.
because push-ups was 1 year ago, and
Yeah,
I remember when I heard push-ups, I had so much questions
yeah.
because it was like, is this an act? Is this it? One,
Yeah.
as soon as
Why
I
did he
heard
do that?
it,
Was
so
he
what there was
just
the
testing the
leak
water?
came out. The leak came out, but it
Uh-huh.
wasn't the final. And the leak, I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, this isn't AI. This is Drake because I know the cadence. I
Uh-huh.
know the way he
You can
raps.
catch it like that, huh?
Oh yeah, I can catch it like that. And I
Wow.
can tell
That's impressive.
by the word I listen to him a lot, but I can tell by
Okay.
the word he chooses that okay. I was like, oh, I'm surprised. He's engaging. This is a
Hmm.
direct engagement
Hmm.
because J. Cole jumped out and jumped back in.
You know,
He jumped out and jumped back in.
man, that group chat was lit though. I remember one of our buddies. I was just going in. I was remember in the group chat when like that dropped, and I screenshot it, and then our buddy one of our buddies is like, uh, it's a nice little jab. And I was like, I know it's a jab, but I know Kenny. I've listened to him long enough that I I know what he's doing.
Hmm.
He's trying to bring him out.
I can't
He's
believe it succeeded because it like that was a light jab. It wasn't. I mean, it was a direct jab, but it
uh-huh.
wasn't. It wasn't like control. It wasn't anything crazy. It was a nice jab. So for Drake to release a song dedicated really to
It wasn't
addressing
just
it,
to him. It
it
wasn't to
wasn't
he was
just to
shooting
him.
everywhere.
He was shooting
That's what
everywhere,
yeah. Yeah.
but it was you could tell that okay, he got off tour and he went to go
Mhm.
record this Drake. So I'm like, okay, he's ready to engage.
It's a great
And
this guy
once he dropped push-ups, I was like, okay, then we are
is a
here.
go.
The
Yeah,
clock
I remember
act
you
was
guys
day
I remember
one,
you I
day
remember
two. The
I
clock.
remember you guys yeah. I remember you and our buddy were roasting me in the group chat. It wasn't, dude. Do you remember that? It wasn't easy
Yeah,
being a It wasn't easy being a Kendrick fan
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
those 3 weeks. I was like,
It's
my
true.
goodness, that pit.
How many days did we get to?
It was
It was
like
a lot
three
of
weeks.
days. It was
I
like
was like, I was like, and then I remember putting in a group chat. If he doesn't respond this week, I'm done. I was like, all right, Drake wins, so blah blah blah. And then I was teaching. I think I told you the story.
Mhm,
I was teaching. I kid you not. This is the only time that I didn't take because when the students come in my room, I
mhm.
take their phones. I always take their phones
Oh,
so
you
they can
did?
concentrate. Yeah,
You put it
yeah,
somewhere?
yeah. I
Good.
have it that they put it in.
Yeah, do that with
This
adults.
this one day I didn't take their phones, and I'm teaching. I'm teaching. I'm the board. A kid in the back. Kendrick just dropped. Dude. I'm not even making this up.
It's 3 weeks in the making, son.
Dude, I can't even make this up. He's like,
Everyone
Kendrick
bring
just
out your
dropped.
phones. Everyone bring out
And I was like, this was like 5 minutes before the bell was gonna ring. And
Uh-huh.
then I go to my desk and then I looked in the group chat and I see all the guys saying, how does he come back from it? What is going on? What is it? And I didn't even want any part of it until like lunchtime. I went and put
Mhm,
in um
mhm.
my earphones in, and then it's just 6 minutes of like manslaughter.
Yeah.
I was like, anyway, but we're definitely gonna revisit it because there's just so much that went on during that month, and the anniversary is coming soon, May 5th.
There was
I
a
mean,
lot going on.
yeah, yeah.
It was crazy. It was a moment in history, to be
It
honest.
is. It is to really relive that is it's crazy.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah. Push Up was also 1 year ago. To I think it was on the 19th. When did it drop?
Mhm.
I think April 19th. It's already a year.
Time flies, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but like I was saying a little bit on the push-up song, the leaked version was better, but they couldn't clear the sample. I like that. I like the beat of the leaked version more than
yeah, I
the
remember you
final.
telling me. Yeah. Send me that because I don't. Did I get taken down? Because I didn't.
No, you can find it.
Just
Just
for leak
YouTube push-ups OG
or
version.
OG version. Okay.
The beat is better. Is There's actually better rapping. He took some bars off. The best bars from the original version is not on the final version.
The hell?
I don't even listen to the final version.
Different version of it.
No, the original version is just a way better beat.
Yeah,
And I
because
mean, I understand he couldn't clear it, but it's out there, and I think it's better. So I'm gonna listen to the one I
yeah,
like
for
better.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, just Google OG version push-ups.
Of it and then see how that goes.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
yeah,
That's awesome.
it was a time.
It was a time. We definitely need to have a pod dedicated. We can talk for that moment for hours. I know
Yeah.
it's just there was just so much going because I was just so glued to the phone and Twitter was blowing up. I'm like,
It was so much. There was so much going on in my phone. I couldn't keep up. I was like, okay, I can't do this. Like I need like 2 or 3 hours of
so to
dedicated just to catch up on.
process it.
First of
Some
all,
guy,
and the amount going on social media, I was like,
some
I can't
lady
even keep up.
some lady posted a video. He's like, Kendrick, I haven't even dropped out my kids out of school and you already drop another one.
Give me
Can I
time.
can I just make coffee first?
Oh my god.
That's like Jesus Christ.
It was crazy.
So speaking of all that, segueing into that, it lead into the whole suing and all that stuff. So the UMG lawsuit discovery,
Hmm.
Drake is still going back and forth.
I don't understand. What are we doing here?
it it just it's a whole mess. It's 107 pages now that he has retaliated, come back, and they're still in war with the UMG for the defamation stuff. So I just don't know where that's gonna end. I don't know if it's a win. Eh, Even if Drake wins this lawsuit, it's still in the eyes of a hip hop connoisseur. It just still look bad.
So I think he knows it looks bad, so he's trying not to direct it at Kendrick. He's just trying to say it's he's suing UMG,
Hmm.
but you know
The damage is done.
the context of why you're suing him is because of Kendrick's song.
If
So
if he would have if he would have won, there's no way he would have sued.
yeah,
There's no way. So it's through that segued into you suing, right? So
I actually I want to hear him talk. I don't want to hear his lawyer talk. You talk.
yeah.
You're the one suing. Why don't you talk? What is the business? What if you say the truth and not hide behind lawyers, then we can understand and we can, okay, UMG owes you a lot of money. They're trying to lowball you in a contract off in
Hmm.
a renewal contract. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yep.
Instead of suing and hiding behind not like us, you lose a rap battle and you sue. That doesn't make sense.
Imagine Jay-Z losing the ether, getting ethered, and then he's go call his lawyer. Imagine back then what DMX and those guys would have said.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I mean, it's not really about Kendrick or not like us. It's more about UMG is trying to screw him out of a lot of
Tarnish,
money
yeah, money, yeah. I think
because
that's what.
that's the only thing that's going to get you to do all this is your main the main company that pays you all this money is on the next re-up
Promoting.
on the next re-up of the contract they're not going to offer you what you think you should get. So you know
Yeah, it's regardless. It still looks bad.
it looks bad. You
It
can't
still
you
looks
can't
bad.
make it make sense.
Imagine if it was other way around, dude. Drake would have been making fun of Kendrick. He would have. There's no way he would be able to recover from this.
Hmm.
That's why it just makes it. It's a sour top. Like hip people who are really fans of hip hop
Hmm.
and that live through it and all that stuff. It just looks silly.
It looks silly. Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't. I don't think I don't know if it's ever happened in hip hop before.
he has it.
Like
Yeah,
it,
imagine Ja Rule would have sued 50 because of that beef that happened between them. It just yeah,
it doesn't make sense. Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, so what is the resolution? You're trying to get a settlement, or what is the end goal of the suit? I mean, I kind of want to get to the end and see what happens.
Yeah, what
Essentially,
happens? Yeah, but they're going back and forth. But he doesn't know that. I think UMG is gonna drop the bomb about also them botting for Drake as well, because
they
they're
definitely
gonna
are.
they're gonna say it, like, dude, your Scorpion album that you made 1 million in a week, we inflated a lot of those too.
Hmm.
Your 1 2 step, gospel, we inflated all those numbers. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, and they have evidence to prove it. Now it's even gonna look more worse. That oh, so people weren't really listening to it like that. Weird. It just I don't know. It just his credibility. It tarnishes it for me.
Yeah, this is a big stain on his legacy.
It is. It is. It just no matter what you doing, numbers. I'm out of here. Yes, you out of here. Also, UMG is like because of us, your numbers were out of here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
who?
There's a
What are you gonna
reason.
say? There's a
Yeah.
reason. Like, there's just so many. Unless Drake's lawyers really have a valid thing that they like Drake is being really, really hurt by all this, and they're trying to screw him out of his deal. And I don't know. It's
I think
just
it's got to be something regarding a lot of money because it doesn't make sense to sue
mm,
just because of defamation. Like
yeah,
it's a rap battle. The point of rap battle is to defame the other
yeah,
person.
yeah.
Well,
So that you can get
it's
people on your side. Yeah,
yeah, it's part of what happens. So suing for defamation, it's like too surface level. I feel like there's something much more deeper
Much-
than just that suit. Yeah.
yeah. And you, Dre, you said stuff about Kendrick's partner too that he's not. You're also trying to defame, his
Mm-hmm.
marriage and his kids and all that stuff too. So what about that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a double-edged sword. Like it's just
Careful
silly
what
when
you
it,
wish for.
yeah, because you did the exact same thing too, saying things about his family and his manager and all that stuff. So you both drag each other through the dirt. And in the beginning, in Euphoria, he did say it's a friendly fade. Let's keep it that way.
If you
Yeah,
dog, if you warn me in a battle, I'm going at you. You can't warn
yeah.
me. If you take it a step further, no,
I'm
I'm
taking it there. You don't want to. We don't want to say that. If you remember, he said, and then
Mister. Take it further.
yeah, and then in 616,
Oh, shit.
he said, "I pray to God, put my kids to sleep." A definition of peace, and I'm about this war that I'm about to go to. So first he warns you, and then he tells you that this is what I'm about to have do in 616 in LA, and then he went on and did what he has to do. So anyway, we can talk about it for hours. But
Yeah.
speaking of Kendrick, his first show GNX was in our hometown, Minneapolis.
Mhm.
I think I showed you a couple of clips, and people were saying, "Oh, look at all these bots! Look at all these
Oh
bots
no, there's a lot of there's a lot of people there. Yeah.
in the stand."
Yeah.
Sold out.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
That
sold
is
out.
crazy. That
Yeah.
speaks a lot. I mean,
How
shoot.
many how many rappers
Damn, it's
realistically
coming
right
to
now?
Houston tomorrow. I need to
It
go.
is too. Yeah, get in there. You might get a
Let me see the tickets.
yeah. Which stadium is it? Is it pretty close to you? You might get
Yeah,
some on.
it's close to downtown. It's Energy Stadium. I think where the football team plays.
Oh,
But I
nice.
purposely didn't watch a lot of clips because I want if I'm
It
gonna
ruins
go,
it.
yeah, it ruins the surprise. I want to
Yeah, it
see it.
does.
I want to see it for myself.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's much like there was one of Drake's tours where I went to the first show of the tour,
yeah.
and it was there you couldn't surprise there was no clips, was
There's
nothing
just no
because this is
place.
the
Yeah,
first one, and it was a great show because
yeah.
everything was a surprise. You don't know the set list, you don't know where he's wearing, you don't know the stage,
The
you
stage.
know the
Yeah, you
lights, you
don't know
don't
the
know
setup.
anything. It's just like
Hmm.
let's hear this and let's see what you got. So
Yeah,
I tried to
yeah.
I
I
tried
don't
to stay
know.
away from clips just unless I get a chance to go.
Yeah, I don't know how many other than Travis Scott and maybe J. Cole and Drake and Kendrick. I don't know how many rappers will be able to sell us stadium tours
That's
in
hard,
this
dude.
economy. Yeah,
That's hard. I
I
should
don't.
go. What time
Yeah,
is it tomorrow? Seven
yeah,
o'clock.
yeah. It'll be good.
Shit, I should go.
Yeah. So that's our end. We come to an end of Cleats and Beats.
Cleats and Beats.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Another episode down.
Yeah, for sure. Fifth episode. In the comment section, yeah, we wanted to see what do you guys want to see or hear from us, right, Luck?
Yeah,
Um,
let us know what you
tell us.
want us to discuss, spend more time on. If there's
Come on.
topics that you want us to cover that we're not covering,
Mhm.
just start having conversations or some suggestions in the comment
In the
section. We
comments.
can
Yeah, we
cover it
take
in the next show.
criticism. We're very
Yeah,
good at taking criticism. Don't worry.
yeah. Let us know what's good, what's bad, what we can do
Yeah,
better,
what
what
can
we
do
should
better?
discuss. So
Yeah,
we're
for sure.
open to get better.
Yeah, so just take us home and then we close it off.
All right. So I
It's a
appreciate all the viewers for tuning in. Episode
yeah,
5 of Cleats
yeah,
and Beats.
for sure.
Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll be back
More topics,
shortly.
more things
Yeah,
happening.
more
So
things. Like, subscribe, do all
yeah,
the things the kids say
and
nowadays,
share it exactly,
and share.
and share with your
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
We'll be
Signing
back
out.
again.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
for sure. Uh-huh.